Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Dazzie's top 20 selling comic books of the week, episode 53. Happy New Year to you all. Today I'm going to be discussing the best selling comics on eBay for the week of the 27th of December 2019. Since coverprice.com came on the scene, they've become a go-to spot for watching eBay trends on comics, and they scour thousands of eBay sales to culminate data to spotlight the hottest selling comics. Here is this week's top 20, guys. As always, let's find out if you can beat me. Most people normally do. I'm not feeling confident. Starting in at number 20 on our list, I'm going to start with that excellent comic book artist Archer, and we're going with Vampirella issue number 6, the blue foil variant from Dynamite Entertainment. Here is the book, guys. It's a stunning cover for sure. Can't go wrong with Archer. Just a shame really, his books never really heat up too much. Well, like I said, that foil variant isn't going to show up at most LCSs. My LCSs get very few incentives. Fans had to turn to online resellers, and it sold 15 copies and had a high sale raw that went for 40 bucks, guys. That was the one per store Dynamite Archer blue foil variant for Vampirella issue 6. Bit of a mouthful. Number 19 on our list, guys, and we're talking Marvel. Action Spider-Man, issue 12, the Myers 1 in 10 variant. And this comes from IDW. Bit of a crossover there. There we go, guys. Marvel IDW little crossover. Marvel Action Spider-Man issue 12, the 1 in 10 from Myers, and it has a very low print run, this book, and it's super hard to find. It sold 11 copies, had a 7-day trend of plus 45%, and a high sale raw went for 47 bucks, guys. Good book. Now this is next book, number 18 on our list, is a book that's been on my eBay searches for some time, but I'm just trying to find the right copy at a good price. We are getting a Disney Plus show, and that show is WandaVision. And the book I'm talking about comes from Marvel in 1970. And it's another book that is fueled by set photo leaks. And the photos are of Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness on WandaVision. And the book is, like I said, from 1970. It is Fantastic Four, issue 94, guys. Here is your book. Like I say, classic Bronze Age. Can't go wrong. What can I tell you about the sales of this book? Well, it sold 13 copies, had a 7-day trend of plus 58%, and a high sale raw went for a very nice $30. Like I said, Agatha Harkness is widely speculated to be the villain on WandaVision. Number 17, and we're talking Dark Horse. Of course, they've just struck up a deal with Netflix to show off a lot of their properties. So let's see where this book goes. The book in question, from Jeff Lemire, it is Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy. It is a 1 in 10 retailer variant. Pretty striking cover, actually. Pretty simplistic, but I quite like it. Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy. Issue number 1. Well, like I said, it's a pretty awesome variant and is a must-have for Black Hammer fans. Yeah, of course, Black Hammer is in production. We are going to get that. I have Black Hammer 1, which I'm delighted about. It sold 10 copies, had a 7-day trend of plus 109%, and high sale raw went for 16 bucks. Number 16 on our list, and I'm finally off the mark, and of course it's a stalwart. And it may be eBay's best-selling book because it's always in my top 20. The book, Spawn, issue number 1, guys. Spawn, issue number 1. Of course, there is a movie apparently on its way starring Jamie Foxx and Jeremy Renner. Like I've said before, we'll see what happens with Jeremy Renner because he's got a few private issues at the moment. But this is the first Spawn solo title issue, and it's the first appearance of Jason Wynn, Mel Boglia, Wanda Fitzgerald, who are all in the first Spawn movie that's in my DVD collection. It's also the first appearance of Sam and Twitch and Stephen Percival. It's the second title published by Image Comics, and of course we've got some stunning Todd McFarlane art. It comes from 1992. It sold 12 copies this past week or so, had a 7-day trend of plus 89%, and a high sale. CGC 9.8 went for a nice $112. Yeah, it's a book that is mass produced, but is always selling, guys. And what did I pay for mine? The legendary Car Boot Tony delivered it. Nice grade, near mint, £1.31. Up next, another book that I have. Again, Marvel. We're going 1980. Classic book. Of course, we've got in various Disney Plus Marvel shows coming, and one of them is She-Hulk. The book, Savage She-Hulk, issue number 1, and it's still selling well in anticipation, like I say, of the Disney Plus series. This is the first appearance and origin of the She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters. Now, it's the first appearance of Nicholas Trask. Is the origin of Hulk retold. Of course, Dr. Robert Bruce Banner. And is a cover homage to the Incredible Hulk issue 1 from 1962. This is a fantastic read, guys. Always, I have been speculating on this book along with Marvel Spotlight issue 32. I think it's just a matter of time before we get Spider-Woman in the MCU. Kevin Feige has confirmed that She-Hulk will, in fact, join the Avengers at some point. So, like I said, this sold 10 copies at a 7-day trend of plus 113%, and a high sale CBCS 9.6 sold for $197, guys. I paid 20 quid for mine in November of 2017. Raw's now close to 100. I think I've caught a bit of the Mandalorian clips and things, and one of the females, the female lead in the show, I can't remember her name, but she used to be an MMA fighter. She was also in the Deadpool movie. I think she is putting her name forward to play She-Hulk, and I think that would be a fantastic casting because I really like the actress, actually. For an MMA fighter, she can act. Number 14 on our list, sticking with Marvel again. What more do I need to say? From 1992, Amazing Spider-Man issue 361. Of course, the first full appearance and origin of Carnage, Cletus Cassidy, who was, of course, going to be played by Woody Harrelson in the Venom sequel, and he appeared post-credits of the first Venom starring Tom Hardy. Very excited for that movie. Love Woody Harrelson. It's still going strong, guys. Now, this, of course, is the second overall appearance of Carnage, as he had a one-page cameo in the previous issue, Amazing Spider-Man, issue 360. This sold 10 copies at a 7-day trend of plus 100%, and a high sale, CGC 9.6, went for $159.99. I paid 50 quid for mine. I would think it's probably near mint, and that was in the middle of 2018. Up next on our list, a book that I've passed on several times because I want the right copy and I want the right price. I only ever seem to find ratty copies. And the book from 1988, Marvel again, is a classic. And it is Wolverine issue number 1, guys. Wolverine issue number 1 from 1988. Of course, Hugh Jackman is apparently being offered huge sums of money to reprise his role in a Deadpool Wolverine movie. Fingers crossed, guys. Take it with a pinch of salt, but I would love to see Hugh Jackman come back. I can't see anybody else in the role. I know Scott Eastwood is one being talked about, but Hugh Jackman is the man for me, even at 50 years of age. Now, Wolverine's early issues are continuing to increase due to the fact that, of course, we are going to get Wolverine in the MCU at some point. Now, the first issue to fill the series sold 14 copies at a 7-day trend of plus 99% and a high sale. CGC 9.8 went for $200. Number 12 is a book I saw at a con recently, and I passed on it, and it was only a couple of quid. It is from 1982. We're talking Marvel again, and this time the book in question is Fantastic Four, issue 244. Issue 244 of Fantastic Four. And in this issue, Frankie Ray, aka Nova, becomes the Herald of Galactus. Now, the upcoming comic series Thor 2020 will showcase all the former heralds together, hence that's why it's getting some heat. It sold 13 copies, and it had a 7-day trend of plus 113%, and a high sale CGC 9.6 went for $100. And that leaves us with our first runner-up to the Big Ten. And number 11 on our list, guys, of course, due to the love of The Mandalorian, which is pretty epic, and Rise of Skywalker, which I gave a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's never going to please everybody, but it made up for a lot of mistakes of The Last Jedi. Is Star Wars issue number 1. This is the 30-cent variant, and this is from 1977, if I am not mistaken. Yeah. Here is the book, guys. Star Wars issue 1 from 1977, the 30-cent variant. What can I tell you about this one? Like I said, Star Wars is really hot right now, thanks to the current film and series. It sold 18 copies at a 7-day trend of plus 81%, and a high sale, CGC 9.8, went for a staggering $975, guys. So, we're into the big top 10, and this is where it gets really interesting. I'm not doing too well at the moment. Can I pick it up? Probably not. Starting in at number 10, more Star Wars love. And one of the characters that really grew on me through these last 3 films, probably the highlight of the films for me, was Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. Number 10 on our list is Star Wars, The Rise of Kylo Ren. And this is a 1 in 25 Carnero variant. And this is a lovely cover, I must admit. There's your book, guys. Can't imagine too many of you will have that one, being an incentive. So it sold 11 copies at a 7-day trend of plus 138%, and a high sale. Raw went for $55. I think that's a good price. Like I said, Kylo Ren for me was the standout of the new characters. Number 9 on our list, and it comes from DC, and of course the Arrowverse at the moment is having Crisis on Infinite Earths, and TV spec is always hit or miss. It's more miss than hit, to be fair. But the big crossover event had a based on the Crisis on Infinite Earths run, had a Walmart exclusive, and this one has really heated up. It's going to be hard to track down, like I said, from Walmart. Low printed. Number 9 on our list, Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Walmart exclusive. And there's your book, guys. Pretty iconic cover, Superman holding Supergirl. What did it do? Well, it sold 16 copies, had a 7-day trend of plus 104%, and a high sale. Raw went for $20. I know that there's a lot of love at the moment for Walmart issues. I think the Detective Comics one is pretty much on fire right now as we speak. Number 8 on our list, Secret Invasion MCU rumors have been heating up, and this was the big storyline. It is the Gabrielle Delotto regular cover to Secret Invasion issue number 1. Bit of a classic book, guys. Here we go. I need to find it, but I'm not going to pay too much for it. What can I tell you about that one? It sold 13 copies. It should be pretty easy to find in dollar bins. Had a 7-day trend of plus 133% and had a high sale raw for 16 bucks. Number 7 on our list. I don't pick up new books anymore, but I'd look to have grabbed this one, I think. This was one of the few that has grabbed me. It is the Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 13, the Razah 2020 variant. Here we go, guys. I do like this cover. Now, these are heating up. Miles Morales Spider-Man 13s, due to the fact it is the first appearance of Miles Morales' sister, I believe, as a baby. Now, this variant is pretty hard to find. It sold 14 copies at a 7-day trend at plus 131% and had a high sale raw that went for 15 bucks. Number 6 on our list is a book I made a hot comic book alert about, and that is a book that has been optioned. News broke that from the creator Rodney Barnes that he let slip that his book Philadelphia has been optioned for TV. Although it's not been officially announced, it very much seems like it's on his way. And this is the LCSD, Local Comic Shop Day variant for Philadelphia issue number 1. I've heard nothing but good things about Philadelphia. It got me looking. It sold 10 copies, had a 7-day trend of plus 269% and had a high sale raw that went for 13 bucks. Number 5 on our list is a book that just took forever to come out, and that's Doomsday Clock. I picked up several of the early issues, but I just wasn't waiting months on end for the following issue, so I gave up. But the final issue, Doomsday Clock, issue 12, had Dr. Manhattan versus Superman, and that was enough to get the comic fans to pick it up. It sold 25 copies. The book in question is this one. Doomsday Clock, issue 12, the first printing. Like I say, I like the premise of the Watchmen crossing over into the mainstream, but it just took too darn long. It sold, like I said, 25 copies at a 7-day trend of plus 126% and at a high sale raw that went for 14 bucks. Number 4 on our list. I'm back. Hey! Marvel 2011. And this book is always on my top 20 list, it seems. It is a big selling book. It sells consistently and holds its value very well. The book in question, Ultimate Fallout issue number 4, the first printing, the first appearance of Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man. This is the issue where Reed Richards becomes the Maker, a turning point where an evil Richards explains his new philosophy of the world to the children of tomorrow. Initially comes polybagged. There's a Death of Spider-Man tie-in, and what did I pay for this? £13.90 in March of 2018. I rewarded myself for my birthday. It was just 3 days later. Well, this book sold 26 copies, had a 7-day trend of plus 121%, and a high sale CGC 9.8 went for a whopping 380 bucks, guys. We're getting them into the Spider-Verse 2, and Miles Morales will turn up in the MCU at some point. That I am sure of. My copy is probably VF. Number 3 on our list is a book that is heating up due to recent set photos again on WandaVision, and it's showing the sword symbol. And this was enough to confirm the organisation's first appearance in the MCU. Now, unconfirmed is Abigail Brand in the series, who also makes her first appearance in this issue. The book, like I said, from 2004, Astonishing X-Men, issue number 6. Now, we initially this heated up due to the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, where we see Nick Fury in outer space. But this sold 31 copies. It had a 7-day trend of plus 111%, and a high sale raw went for 18 bucks. I paid a quid for mine back in the middle of 2017. Excuse me. It leaves us the top two. And like I said, Miles Morales issue 13 is heating up due to the first appearance of Billy Morales as a baby. Yep, and it's still selling very well. The book is this one, guys. This is the regular cover. Be on the lookout for it, guys, because I think this one might have a future, and I don't pick up too many new books. Excuse the glare on this. What can I tell you about that one? Well, it sold 36 copies at a 7-day trend of plus 101%, and a high sale raw went for 16 bucks. And that leaves us number one, and this is a great book, and this is one I would love to have. Like I say, Mandalorian bits and pieces have really excited me. Rise of Skywalker renewed my love for Star Wars, I've got to be honest. And my boy Ethan is buzzing about Star Wars at the moment, and we've started watching all the Clone Wars again in preparation of the new season coming out next month, I think. Well, one of the main players in that series was the Jedi Ahsoka Tano, and she is rumored to be appearing in the Star Wars Disney Plus series in the future, whether it be Obi-Wan or season 2 of The Mandalorian, we don't know yet. But her first appearance is now on fire, and it's always been a pricey book, but now it is getting atmospheric. Her live action debut would be well received. The book in question from 2009, Star Wars The Clone Wars issue number 1 is our number 1 book this time round, guys. Love to get hold of this one. I'm a big fan of Ahsoka, and what can I tell you about it to wrap it up? Well, it sold 11 copies. It had a 7-day trend of plus 341%, and a high sale raw went for a whopping 100 bucks. Now also check out the variant, because it's selling for 250 raw, and it hit a crazy high sale of $748 for a CGC 9.8 on March the 30th last year, long before any rumors started. And this book is going to be a beast, so get on the lookout for it, guys. That's my top 20 this time round. What have I got? Pitiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a quarter for me. Let's see if you can beat me. Thanks for all your support. I sit at 750 subscribers. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like my videos, ding the bell for notifications. That's Dazzie over now. Bye for now. Happy New Year.